there's a reason why people said don't put all your eggs in one basket. And in one basket, in terms of hair business, I would actually say you should not put all your trust in one supplier. Most of us get hair from different places around the world, and you should also know, and you're also aware that you are not the only customer there is, or you're not the only customer that they are attending to. It is not about distrust, it is about risk management, because when your business starts to grow, your supplier or your vendor don't automatically grow with you. Because when the demand is more in your own side and you have just one vendor, be mindful that you're not actually the only vendor that there is. So there are certain things that you need to think about actually when choosing vendors, because you also need to put your own business in mind. Because once there is more demand in your own side, there's a tendency that maybe if a supplier has like 10 customers and there are much demands with those 10 customers, who do you think that they're going to supply the hairs to? They will not actually supply the hair to one person. They'll have to divide it, which makes it less demand for you, because what your customers want is actually enough to actually fit all of them. Do you get that now? So if you're not able to meet up to all your clients because of you have one vendor, it's going to be a risk on your side, because you are growing, but your supplier is not growing. And also, you're not the only customer that they have. These suppliers can have material limits, production limits, staff limits, and rush seasons can also affect everybody at once. We all can attest to how seasonal period can be here in Nigeria. Not more, talk more of there, where we are actually importing most things from there. So imagine when everybody's making demands for seasonal period, what do you think is going to be left for you? Do you get that? So if you have only just one supplier, and let me say, but like 10 people have already ordered prior to the seasonal period, you don't have much left for you to attend to your customers. What happens when orders pile up when you have no backup? Delay to meet your customers. You start apologizing instead of selling, because at that time orders are piling up, but you don't have hairs to give to your customers. What are you going to do then? You start looking for who you can borrow from, or you start going to other markets that you're not even sure of the quality that they have. But by the time you are able to check for suppliers, test out their goods, you'll be able to know what your customers can actually get at that point in time. Because by the time you're limited in this way, you can just go and buy hair from another place that you're not sure of, or maybe you just feel like, okay, it's a regular market, and then your customers get it and they don't like it. What will you tell your customers at that moment? You wouldn't say, oh, this is not my usual supplier. You can't say that, because that's not even professional. So you get that. So one supplier, one or two supplier is actually like at high risk for you, especially as a hair vendor. One or two supplier is at high risk for you, especially as a hair vendor. Because when your business is growing, it's expected that you keep a lot of them in place in case orders come in, bulk orders come in. You know what to give this particular supplier, you know what to give this particular supplier. At that time, they are not overwhelming your supplier. They'll be able to produce their goods in the way they are supposed to produce it, not because of their rushing it, but because that is what they are good at. To avoid this kind of period, you need to start sourcing for hair suppliers. Hair vendors, hair suppliers need to start sourcing it at much, because it's going to take so much time and it's going to take you so much money or cost you a lot of money, but it is worth it in the long run. Because if you check it, it is better to risk your money than to risk a customer's money too. So you see that. So when you know that you're growing in your business, or when you know that your business is getting to a point whereby